In this video, I'm going to discuss if we should set New Year's resolutions or not. I'm not going to change the way that I speak. I'm going to express myself naturally, as if I was talking to a friend in English. I won't be making this any easier for English learners, so your task is to try and follow along with what I'm saying. The first reason why I think we should set New Year's resolutions is that I think sometimes it's very valuable to stop, to have a look around, assess our lives, look at what's going well, how can we improve, what should we be grateful for? And for me, in my opinion, there is just no better time to do it than the 1st of January or the start of a new year. Because I don't know if you guys are like this, but I just love a fresh start. I love a Monday. I love the start of a new month. I love especially the start of a new year. I think this is a little bit because, well, probably not a little bit, but a lot. I think this has to do a lot with me being a perfectionist or having very high standards for myself. And when I start doing a habit, for example, let's say I'm going to start meditating 10 minutes every morning. For the first few days, I can do the habit. And then I might stop. I might miss it one day. And in my brain, for some reason, I might not do that. I'm very unlikely just to jump back onto it the day after because my motivation to continue has just dropped significantly because, that place where I kind of tick my habits, it's all messy. It's all gone wrong because I've missed a day. And like the start of a new month or a week is like a new opportunity to start again. I think I need to get a little bit better at just embracing imperfection and things being a little bit messy, not working out the way that I intended, and just continuing. That's something that I want to change this year. But I do think January or the start of a new year does give us the space and opportunity to look back on the previous year and think, okay, how did that go? Was that good? Was that bad? How did I do? And then you can think about things that you're grateful for. Wow, that I really did, well in work. Or I am so thankful that, all my family is still alive and they're healthy. And then you can think, okay, next year, do I need to change anything? Are there some things that are stopping me from becoming a better person or improving the world around me? Sometimes there's a little bit too much focus on ourselves and the individual, and maybe you can start litter picking on a Sunday. Or maybe you can start being a little bit kinder and more patient with people out in public, smiling at people a little bit more. There are a few things that we could do to make the world a better place. But what I'm trying to say is that there is room to think about things and also to challenge ourselves and think about what we do want to change. And I think like January is just a great place to do that, especially for me because at the end of the year, it's like winter now in the UK. It's December. No, sorry, it's January the 6th. And it's actually snowing in Manchester right now. But Christmas comes at the end of the year. So Christmas is on the 25th of December in the UK. And people stop working around this period. And I actually have 2 weeks off most years from teaching and running my online English community, which is free to join. But what I'm trying to say is I have 2 weeks off work. I let myself go a little bit. I'm not working. I don't really exercise as much. I eat a lot more. I drink so much more alcohol than normal because I'm catching up with friends I haven't seen in a year. I'm seeing family members that I don't usually see. I celebrate Christmas, Boxing Day. My birthday is between Christmas and New Year's Eve, and then obviously New Year's Eve. So I drink a lot of alcohol in this period. Next year, I'm actually going to try and reduce it because this year I drank way too much. So yeah, that wasn't a good thing. But basically, it's just like a period where I let myself go, and I don't really kind of like care about my health or anything like that too much in that 2 weeks. And by January the 1st, I'm like, okay, cool. No more unhealthy food, no more junk food, no more alcohol for a period of time, and I'm getting back to work. So I feel like that is the perfect time just to kind of stop, reassess, and think about some changes that I want to make. And it's also good to we do have to measure time in some aspects. So we have a minute, an hour, a day. People say, "Oh, what's on my to-do list for today?" They don't say, "What's on my to-do list for like the next 27 hours?" That would be a bit weird. We need to think about time in sections. We need to quantify it somehow. And we do hours, days, weeks. What am I going to do this week? What does my gym routine look like for a week? How many hours a week how many hours do you work in a week? We had to have months, and why not years? And lots of our time frames are quite short. And we do need kind of like a longer one for our longer term goals and plans and ideas. Some people talk about a 5-year plan. That just seems too long for me, because 5 years is just a long time. And I I can't imagine, like, my life has changed so much. Like every 5-year period, like if I go back 5 years from today, like my life was so much different than it is now. And if I went back 1 year and then took 5 years, it'd be very different as well. And it's very difficult for me to kind of like see that long term, because my life changes that so much in that period. And that's maybe because I've just turned 30, and like the period between what, like 16 to 30-ish is, or maybe late 20s, is kind of chaotic, and you change a lot. You might finish school, you might have your first job, you might go to university, you might change jobs, you might have multiple like partners, you might change friends, you might change where you live, your priorities might change, your hobbies will change. Like there's a lot of change in that period of your life. So 5 years does seem a little bit too long for me. 1 second, my dog's at the door. Before we continue with the video, I want to tell you quickly about my online community that can help you improve your English and become fluent and confident. Click the link in the description or in the top comment below, and you'll be sent to our page. In there, you will find out some more information. You can watch a video to learn more. However, we make using and improving your English really easy and also enjoyable. We give you resources and exercises about interesting real-world topics related to society, culture, politics, and psychology. And we also provide you with a space to practice your speaking with other English learners. So it's free to join. Click the link in the description. You can learn more, and you can also join there. Hopefully, see you inside. Let's get on with the video. So yeah, 5 years is a little bit too long for me to think about real change, but a year is completely doable. I can definitely think about a year in the future, and I can think about what my life will look like in a year. So therefore, I can set goals for a year. For example, I might say I want to bench press 100 kilograms this year, or I might want to earn this amount of money. I want to get to this level in Spanish, something like that. So if you do want to do this, then why not do it in January? The new year seems like a perfect time to do it. Now I'm going to talk about why we shouldn't make New Year's resolutions. Let's see if I can come up with a convincing argument. So, people at the start of a new year, when they think about New Year's resolutions, they talk about a big transformation. This year, I'm going to get fit and healthy. If you go to the gym often, like me, you'll know that January is the worst time to train because the gym is packed. It's full of people. It's full of people with the goal that this year is my year, and I'm going to get fit and strong. I'm going to lose that belly fat. However, as the weeks go by, the gym gets quieter and quieter and returns back to normal. And everyone, like me, who goes to the gym often, is happy about that. So lots of people set New Year's resolutions, but they ultimately fail. And that's maybe because they just think that if they write down, this year I want to become fit and healthy, it will just happen. And they will focus a little bit too much on the goal. And also, so that is like one of the main arguments against setting New Year's resolutions, is that most people fail, so what's the point? The second one is like, why wait until January? It's almost like an excuse. It's kind of similar to what I was talking about before, of like my perfectionist problem, where I like a fresh start. I like a Monday. I like a start of a new month. I like to start again. I love planning things and starting again. But, imagine how many people have set the goal of, okay, this year I'm going to get fit and healthy. And they start again in January. They do quite well for a few weeks, maybe a few months, and then they stop and they return back to their old habits and their old lifestyle. And you know what? They might kind of get to the end of, and summer rolls around, and they forget about fitness and health and stuff. Apart from maybe the week before they go on holiday, and they're like, "Ah, God, I'm going to be topless on a beach, and that's going to be embarrassing. So I'm going to start working out for a week. I'm going to go on a run." I'm not sure if that's going to work, but yeah, let's say they finish summer and they get to about October, and they think, okay, God, I really need to get fit and healthy. I'll start in the new year. That's me, but just like on a big long time frame suggestion. I don't do that, luckily. Maybe I do with a few things, but okay. So yeah, why start? Why wait? If you really want to do something like learn a language, get fit and healthy, learn to drive, why wait until January? Just do it now. Like start today. Like there's no point in waiting. Um, if it's the 28th of December, okay, start in January. But if it's July or February, that's crazy. Just that shouldn't be a New Year's resolution for next year. You should just start today, really. So that is the second argument against kind of New Year's resolutions, is that it's kind of stupid. If you really want to do something, just start as soon as possible. Don't wait until January. If you kind of wait until January, there's like pressure on you to kind of like have this huge transformation in the next year. And really, transformations take a long time. It's kind of consistency, little actions, small habits, and maybe there should just be a little bit more focus on thinking about the actions and the behaviors that will get you towards your goal. So if you want to become fluent in English and you say, okay, New Year's resolution, by the end of this year, I'm going to be B2 in English. I'm going to be able to speak fluently. I'm going to feel confident when I speak English. That might be a lot of pressure. And instead, why don't you just look at, okay, instead of focusing on these big goals and transformations, I'm going to look at the systems and the actions and behaviors which can help me take me towards this goal. And what could they be? It could be, I'm going to practice speaking English every day for 15 minutes. I'm also going to start reading books in English. 15 minutes a day. Do you know what? If you set that as your goal and it wasn't a big New Year's resolution, you might actually have a little bit more success of just focusing on those small habits and behaviors instead of these big transformations that we often sell ourselves at the start of these years, at the start of a new year, sorry. So yeah, those are the kind of like pros and cons of New Year's resolutions. I kind of lean still a little bit more on New Year's resolutions, but I do think it's more about like goal setting and reassessing. Okay, what went well? How can I change? Do I need to change? We don't need to change. Sometimes our lives are actually going okay, and we're doing 90% of the stuff well and right, and we're focusing too much on this 10% of what we're doing wrong, and that might lead us to kind of like feel anxious or unhappy. And really, we should just be happy and grateful for what we're doing and the experiences we have and have had in the previous year, and a little bit more focus on gratitude could be a good idea. But there is still room just to stop, have a think about what do I need to change? If so, what can I do? Okay, how do I do that? Don't focus on the big transformational goals. I'm going to look like Brad Pitt in Fight Club by the end of this year. I don't think so. But maybe focus on those small actions and behaviors, set realistic, gentle goals, and see how you get on. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you set New Year's resolutions? If so, what are your New Year's resolutions for 2026? Thank you for watching the video, and I will see you soon. Bye.